The story opens aboard the mining vessel Dawn's Edge, operated by the peaceful Keth species. Captain Nira and her crew of 40 miners work the asteroid fields of the Vega system. The Keth are small, fragile beings with translucent skin and large eyes, evolved from a low-gravity world with no predators. Without warning, their sensors detect massive ships dropping out of hyperspace. The vessels belong to the Drak Empire, a militaristic race that has been expanding across the galaxy, enslaving species and strip mining worlds. The Drak are reptilian, twice the size of humans, with natural armor plating and razor-sharp claws. Commander Vex leads the Drak assault force. He demands the Keth surrender their ship and crew for slave labor in the Empire's expansion. The Keth have no weapons, no military, and no way to fight back. Their species has known only peace for thousands of years. In desperation, Captain Nira activates their emergency beacon, a galactic distress signal that broadcasts to all nearby systems. The message is simple: peaceful mining vessel under attack. Crew of 40, requesting immediate assistance. Will share coordinates with any who can help. The signal reaches dozens of worlds, but most deceased in this region are as peaceful as the Keth. They have no military fleets, no weapons of war. The few who do have defenses are too far away or too weak to challenge the mighty Drak Empire. But the signal also reaches a small, blue world on the edge of known space-a-planet recently, contacted by galactic civilization. The inhabitants call it Earth, and they call themselves humans. To the rest of the galaxy, Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world, a planet so dangerous that most species cannot comprehend how anything could evolve there. Admiral Kane receives the distress call aboard the human battleship Retribution. The humans have been part of galactic society for only 5 years, but they've been preparing for this moment since first contact. They know the galaxy sees them as primitive, violent creatures from an impossible world. The human fleet that responds is not large by galactic standards, only 12 ships. But each vessel is built for war, designed by a species that has known conflict for its entire history. The humans have studied every galactic conflict, every military engagement, and every weakness in the common ship, designs used by peaceful species. The Drak have already boarded the Dawn's Edge. Commander Vex walks through the ship's corridors, his claws clicking against the metal floors as Keth crew members cower in terror. The small aliens huddle together, their translucent skin showing the rapid pulse of their frightened hearts. Your ship is now property of the Drak Empire, Vex announces. You will work in our mining colonies until you die. Resist, and we will. Make your deaths slow. Captain Nira tries to protect her crew, but the Drak are 10 times stronger than the fragile Keth. Several crew members are already unconscious from minor blows that would barely bruise a human child. Suddenly, the ship's sensors scream with new contacts. 12 vessels drop out of hyperspace at the edge of the system, moving at speeds that make the Drak officers nervous. The ships are strange angular, aggressive in design, bristling with weapon ports and armor plating. Unknown vessels, Commander. Vex broadcasts. You are interfering with Drak Empire operations. Withdraw immediately or face destruction. The response comes from Admiral Kane aboard the Retribution. This is the Earth Defense Fleet responding to a distress call. Release the mining vessel and withdraw from this system immediately. The Drak laugh. Earth? They've heard of the small world that somehow produced spacefaring creatures despite being a death world. Impossible as it seems, the species that evolved there can't be much of a threat. After all, they only achieved space travel recently. Humans, Vex says with amusement, your 12 ships against our 40. Return to your death world before we decide to conquer it next. The human response is immediate. The 12 ships spread into attack formation with military precision that surprises the Drak. Each human vessel begins powering weapon systems that register as far more powerful than their size should allow. "You have 10 seconds to comply," Admiral Kane states calmly. "We did not come this far to negotiate." When the Drak refuse, the humans attack. The battle is unlike anything the galaxy has seen. Human ships move with coordinated precision, using tactics and strategies no peaceful species has ever developed. Their weapons are designed not for mining or exploration, but for one purpose: destroying other ships. The space battle begins with the humans, demonstrating why Earth is classified as a death world. Their ships don't just attack, they hunt. Each vessel works in perfect coordination with the others, using tactics developed through thousands of years of warfare. The Retribution leads the assault, its main guns tearing through the first Drak destroyer like it was made of paper. But it's not just the firepower that shocks the Drak, it's the calculated ruthlessness. Humans target weapon systems first, crippling enemy ships before destroying them. Captain Ross commands the human destroyer Vengeance. His ship dances between Drak vessels, using speed and maneuverability that seem impossible. The Drak ships are built for intimidation and brute force. Human ships are built for killing. Commander Vex watches in growing horror as his supposedly superior fleet is torn apart. The humans fight like nothing the galaxy has ever seen. They don't just defeat their enemies, they eliminate them with surgical precision. The Drak try their standard intimidation tactics, broadcasting threats about the power of their empire. The humans respond by accelerating their attack. "Admiral?" Kane's voice cuts through the battle chatter. "Every second you delay releasing those civilians is another ship we destroy." The human strategy becomes clear. They're not just rescuing the Keth, they're sending a message. Each Drak ship that falls is destroyed so completely that there will be no doubt about human capabilities. Lieutenant Fox, commanding the human cruiser Warhawk, executes a maneuver that defies galactic understanding of space combat. She uses the debris from a destroyed Drak vessel as cover, and emerges at point-blank range to eliminate 2 more ships in rapid succession. The remaining Drak fleet realizes they're not facing random violence, they're facing warfare elevated to an art form. Humans don't just build weapons. They build instruments of tactical destruction, guided by minds that have spent millennia perfecting the science of conflict. As the battle turns decisively against them, the surviving Drak ships try to retreat. But Admiral Kane has no intention of letting them escape. The human fleet pursues with relentless determination. "Sir," his communications officer reports, "we're receiving surrender requests from the remaining Drak vessels." Kane's response is cold. Did they accept the Keth's surrender? Continue the attack. This is when the galaxy witnesses the true nature of humans. They don't fight for conquest or glory. They fight for principle. The idea of peaceful beings forced into slavery triggers something primal in the human psyche. Captain Lee commands the human battlecruiser Justice. Her ship corners the last group of Drak vessels trying to flee. When they beg for mercy, she responds, "You boarded a civilian vessel to capture slaves. Mercy is not in your vocabulary." The final Drak ships are eliminated systematically. The humans ensure that no vessel escapes to report back to the Empire. The message must be delivered by other means, not back aboard the Dawn's Edge. Captain Nira and her crew watch through the viewports as their rescuers finish the battle. The efficiency is terrifying and beautiful. These humans fight like natural predators, but they came across the void to save strangers. Commander Vex, wounded and trapped aboard the crippled Drak command ship, makes a final desperate transmission to Drak territory. Avoid the human homeworld at all costs. They are everything the Deathworld classification warned us about. Admiral Kane boards the mining vessel personally to check on the rescued Keth. The contrast is striking. This man who just orchestrated the complete destruction of 40 warships, speaks gently to the traumatized aliens. "You're safe now," he tells Captain Nira. "We'll escort you to the nearest safe port." The Keth captain looks up at the tall human with wonder and fear. "Why did you come? We're strangers to you." Kane's answer becomes legend across the galaxy. No one enslaves innocence while humans draw breath. News of the battle spreads across the galaxy faster than light travel. The complete annihilation of a Drak Imperial fleet by 12 human ships becomes the subject of intense debate in every government and military organization. The peaceful species of the galaxy suddenly realize they have allies. The humans, dismissed as primitive Deathworlders, have demonstrated capabilities that reshape galactic politics overnight. On the Keth homeworld, Captain Nira addresses her. Government's assembly. They came from across the void to save 40 strangers. They asked for nothing in return. These humans, they fight like demons, but act with honor. The Galactic Council convenes an emergency session. Representative data from the battle shows human ships using technologies and tactics that peaceful species never developed. The humans have turned warfare into science. But it's not just their military capability that concerns the galaxy. It's their motivation. Humans didn't attack for resources or territory. They attacked because someone threatened innocence. This makes them simultaneously the most dangerous and most trustworthy species in known space. The Drak Empire receives reports of the disaster. Losing 40 ships to 12 vessels from an unknown species forces a complete re-evaluation of their expansion plans. The humans have sent a clear message. Earth is not defenseless, and humans will not tolerate slavery. Admiral Kane returns to Earth as a hero, but his final report to Human Command contains a warning. We've announced our presence to the galaxy. Some will see us as saviors. Others will see us as threats. We need to be ready for both. The story concludes with humanity's new role in galactic civilization. They become the defenders that peaceful species never thought they needed. When slavers, pirates, or conquerors threaten the innocent, the call goes out to the Deathworld at the edge of space. Earth ships patrol the void, crewed by beings evolved in violence, but guided by principles of protection and justice. The galaxy learns that Deathworlders make terrible enemies, but invaluable allies. The final scene shows another distress beacon activating somewhere in the galaxy. Pirates are attacking a peaceful transport. The message goes out across space, and once again, 12 angular ships drop out of hyperspace at impossible speeds. The pirates' last transmission before their destruction. Not the humans. Anyone but the humans. The galaxy's most dangerous species has become its greatest protector. The Deathworld of Earth has given the universe something it never had. Guardians. Who fight not for conquest, but for the simple principle that innocents deserve protection. In the end, the aliens got exactly what they asked for. When they sent their SOS, they summoned Deathworlders. They just never imagined that the most terrifying predators in the galaxy would also be its most noble defenders.